Welcome back. Our state's up and down history with wealth began with the original gold and silver rushes to the west in the mid-1800s, and we've come a long way since then. Dr. Colorado is here to elaborate and also to invite you to his free Tesoro lectures on the topic. Welcome to the show, Dr. Colorado.
Great to be here, Amelia.
We are talking about the gold rush today, and we're talking about the history of our state and how it all plays in together. I want to know, did everyone who came to Colorado back in the 1800s strike it rich?
You know, it's estimated that 100,000 people rushed into Colorado, even more than had rushed to California 10 years earlier. People believe they could strike it rich here. But when the census taker comes around in the 1860s, there are only like 35,000. So only a third of all these gold rushers stay.
Oh, wow. But can you imagine back in those days, 100,000 people? I mean, 100,000 people today would be a huge change to our culture. So obviously it was a big reason to come here to try to hope for that fortune. Now, where did Argonauts find the most gold? Let's start there.
Well, much of it had washed down from the Front Range to the Front Range places like Denver and Boulder and Golden. But the real mother lode was Central City. The Gregory lode, that's the actual vein of gold from which the placer gold is washed down.
Wow, when we think about Central City now, I think Blackhawk, Central City, driving up US 6. It's neat to think about that type of history as you're just driving along in modern day Colorado. When did the gold rush, though, turn to the silver rush and transition into probably a new round of folks moving here?
Right, in 1864 they found silver in what's now Georgetown, Colorado. And that brings on a silver rush.
Now, did the name Silverton, the town Silverton in southern Colorado, come from the silver rush as well?
Right. They like to brag that they have silver by the ton in Silverton, Colorado.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful part of our state, too. What I love about all this history is that it forces you to dive into some of those corners that you don't often see if you just live here in Denver, driving around an I-25, but there's a lot of history there. So what was the richest of all Colorado's silver cities? Oh, you mentioned that, actually. That was our...
No, Georgetown was where it was found, and Leadville becomes the richest. It's the richest in the whole Rocky Mountain West.
Wow, okay.
That was the real payoff.
All right. And why do they call it Leadville then?
They had lead ore in there. There are a lot of other names for it too. Pigtown, all kinds of strange names, but they came up with Leadville because much of the ore is lead ore, where the silver is in that ore.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's before the extraction process then. All right, so what caused the silver crash of 1893? I feel like I'm quizzing you here on this one, but I'd love to know the answer.
Yeah, I hope I pass.
Yeah, right? But I grade on a curve, don't worry.
The government had been buying up silver at a good price. Then in 1893, when there was a recession, they decided to stop buying silver. That's Colorado's main industry by then, more important than gold at that point. And so the silver mines, the smelters, the law offices, depending on mining for their business, closed down. So it's an abrupt end to the great boom from 1859 to 1893.
And when we talk about black gold or coal, was that yet another boom for Colorado, another round of people infiltrating our state?
Right, it was another rush, and it's not as glamorous as silver or gold, so you don't hear as much about it. But now, as you know, we're shifting away from fossil fuels. Coal is going through a bust, kind of like silver did way back when.
That is a good point. Now, there is yet another boom past all of these that I hear you have great interest in, and that's a liquid boom, right?
Right.
Talk about your love of breweries, microbreweries, local breweries. Talk about where your interest comes from there.
Well, the experts say last year we had 444 brew pubs and craft breweries, but the guesses are that it's leveling off. You've seen Boulder Brewing Company. The first one is actually closing down a lot of its activities. So it looks like we may have hit the boom with the booze, and now it's headed downhill a bit. Also, kids today are not drinking beer so much. The women, I guess the ladies are more worried about their weight.
Yeah, I can relate to that for sure.
And hard liquor is booming, distilleries and whatnot. So finally the beer boom seems to be tapering off.
Yeah, well, we'll see which boom is next. Dr. Colorado, thank you so much for coming in today. And Dr. Colorado invites you to his free public lecture on Boom and Bust Colorado. The first one is on Saturday, January 18th, 4 p.m. at the Lone Tree Hub at 8827 Lone Tree Parkway. And then on Sunday, January 19th at 2 p.m. at the Denver Central Library, and that'll be on the 5th floor. For more information on the lecture series, call 303-839-1671. And for all of Dr. Colorado's classes, talks, books, and tours, just go online, dr-colorado.com.